Hey everybody, it's Friday evening and I've been out here on the reservoir all afternoon. We've had some crazy weather, but rounding my day out, if you look just under the bridge over there, you can see the boat launch, so I'm just about out of here. But I did want to get a little bit of video of, well, you can't really see it so much on that side, but you can see it out in front of us. That is not the reflection of the trees you're seeing so much as it is all of that green plants in the water, that aquatic plant. I don't know what that is. It looks like kabamba. Of course it flattens out as soon as I pull it out of the water, but in the water you can see it opens up almost like a crown of feathers or something. Again, very much like what kabamba looks like. So I don't know. I've got a few pieces that I've already picked up front. They'll be fine for the drive home. Again, I'm getting ready to get out of here fairly shortly, so we'll go ahead and get them back to the house, and we'll get them in a tank somewhere and we'll see what they look like. So that's the one aquatic plant I'm bringing home today, and we will see if we find anything else interesting. I know there's another plant out here that is everywhere, and it looks very much like an acris, and it may very well be an acris. I don't know. An acris may be a native North American plant for all I know. So if I find any of that, and it's usually pretty easy to spot out here, I'll grab some of that too. So sit tight and I'll either see you back at the tank or I will see you when we're finding some of that other plant. All right, we are going to make our way even further back in this little cove up behind the boat launch. You can see there's yet another bridge that takes us even further back up this little stream that flows in. And that's what more or less makes the cove that the boat launch sits in. But back in this little corner, it starts to get pretty shallow. And I don't know how well you can see the weeds growing everywhere. I got my polarized sunglasses on so I can see everything. And by now you can certainly see them. So I was hoping we would run into some of that other stuff back here. But so far all I'm seeing is more of the same. Listen to my poor motor trying to push through all that. Weedless motors only go so far. I do not see anything back here that's not what we've already got. Yeah, definitely gonna have to clean the motor off before I start moving back out of here. Now I know up in that corner once upon a time I found some water lotus several years ago, but when I went to collect some of it I realized that they were just absolutely massive plants and I would not be able to get them out. And of course even if I did, I wouldn't have anything to do with them once I got them home. So maybe there's still some water lotus up there. Let's see what putting it in reverse does. Not a lot. Alright everybody, leave me to it. I'll get out of here. Hopefully we'll find some of that anacris. I got one more spot I want to try, so sit tight and I'll see you there. Alright, we are back in the corner behind the boat launch right now, and I found some of the plants that I've been hoping to find. These aren't the ones I was just talking about that look like anacris, but these are an interesting plant, and I wanted to try these in my waterfall tank because they float on the surface here and you get that kind of appearance. Let's see if we can get some of these without, of course it's gonna swirl away from me. I'll get some of these, hang on a minute. I promise we'll get some. Come along this way and get some. And these are really, really, really long, stringy plants. They go down for, I don't know, I've seen them in 10 or 15 feet of water and still coming up and hanging on the surface. So we will add those to the bunch There's more of that stuff we've already collected. Actually, you know what? This is something different altogether, but this is not an attractive plant at all. Let's see if I can get some of this. This is just real sort of spindly. Again, this is not the stuff that I was saying that looks like anacris. I'm going to have to find some of that now that I've been talking about it. It's a bit late today. The sun's going down, so we won't be seeing any of that today. But we'll see. I'll grab some of this and bring it home too. There's scads of it everywhere. So we'll put that up there. And we got to go right over there. And then I'll see you back at the tank. Alright everybody, it is Saturday morning. And I got in too late last night for us to actually have any kind of look at what I brought home. But I did bring them home and throw them into this aquarium. Got a little June bug in there, get rid of that. So I found some other stuff while I was out there. We've got this, which grows real long. Again, all this stuff grows really, really long. Central stalks, grows up from the bottom all the way up to the surface. So I've got this stuff, which I don't know what it's called. Don't know what any of this stuff is called, honestly. I brought home a ton of that real sort of feathery looking stuff. I brought home a bunch of the floating stuff that we saw right there by the boat launch at the end. And in fact, that's where I also got that first stuff we looked at, this stuff. I saw a bunch of that floating in there with it. And there was one other thing floating in there that I don't see it right now. I know I grabbed some of it, so it's got to be in there. That's actually some of my Java fern from before. Somewhere in this big mess. There it is. No, that's not it either. There we go. There's some of it. This is just a little tiny piece of it. But I grabbed a bunch of that stuff too. Again, really, really spindly. That's the whole plant. That's what it looks like when it's alive and healthy. So, I mean, I don't really know if there's any point in putting any of that in the tank. There's more of it right there. Again, that's a live, healthy plant. So, I don't know. But I've got a ton of this stuff. I just grabbed it. I scooped it up with my paddle, actually, and got a paddle full of it in there. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. Probably put it in my waterfall tank for now and see what happens. Maybe I'll try putting a little bit of it in one of my other tanks eventually. But there you go. Brought home some plants. So let's see what we can do with them. And the next video, we will be down in the fish room and actually looking at some of them in one of the tanks. So make sure you're subscribed. You won't miss any of that. I'm going to go get started on that right now, as a matter of fact.